Darkness, everybody! Everyone! Darkness is ready!
I'm just sick of the black people on the internet.
Tribe up. Great day. Welcome to the House of Cons. I'm Black J. Salute to everybody in the house. We about to get into it one more time, y'all. I appreciate everybody for joining me one more time. Let me adjust the music down a little bit more. I want to make sure everybody can hear me loud and clear. I think that'll do it right there. Salute to everybody in the house. Salute, y'all. Do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, share the video. So AMA in the house. Old Breeze in the house. Play Great in the house. Salute, Tribe up.
Boom shakalaka!
We got a very good show lined up. Columbus called them Indians. That's the title of the night's show. Columbus called them Indians. And we about to get into it. We got some information that we're gonna share. We're gonna connect some dots. And you know, we hear so many stories about history. Sometimes we just don't even know what to believe. because we told some things ever since we was kids. But when you know better, you do better. Hey, Bronze Flat Power God in the house, salute. When you know better, you do better. And when you become an adult, all childish things must come to an end, especially fairy tales. And we've been digging on Columbus for the last couple of episodes and his discovery of the Indies, salute. As that's what Columbus was famous for, his discovery of the Indies. We got to be clear, we got to be proper, we got to be exact. We got to be exact about everything we talk about. We can't say stuff that we can't say Columbus discovered the U.S.
You big dummy.
There was no such thing as the USA when Columbus came. Columbus discovered the Indies. Let's be clear. So we're gonna dig some more on that same topic tonight. And Columbus called them Indians when he came to the Indies and he met the people. He called them Indians. He said this is the Indies. This is India Superior. He didn't say this is the West Indies. He didn't say this is the East Indies. He didn't say this is America. Columbus said, I discovered the Indies. I met the Indians. And we're looking at the thumbnail from a third eye point of view. And these are some of the people Columbus encountered. Salute. Yeah, Columbus encountered the Indians, and they look quite like these Indians. And these Indians we looking at right now, this happens to be the Juka tribe from Suriname. Salute to the Juka tribe. Juka tribe.
Boom shakalaka.
And I rock with the Juka tribe hard. I rock with the Juka tribe very hard. I rock with all the tribes in the Indies, Managa. I rock with all the Nagas for real. You know what I'm saying? We laugh and we make jokes and we talk noise sometimes, but I rock with all the tribes, Managa. I rock with all 12 tribes of Jacob, Managa. And we looking at them. And I got the proof. We're gonna look back at something we was looking at the other night. On one of the previous episodes, we looked at the journals of Columbus. We looked at the journals of Columbus from 1492 and 1493. And we took it from the horse's mouth. We had to hear what Columbus said. So, of course, he didn't say Native Americans. He said Indians, and he said this was the Indies he discovered. When we stroll down to a specific paragraph I want to read, right here, it's something important. We're going to connect some dots. And I'm going to show you how what Columbus describes right here, he is describing actually these people. He is describing, when he describes the Indians in his journal in 1492, he's describing the people that we're looking at right now. And I can prove it. Salute, I can prove it. Y'all know I got proof. I don't just be talking. I don't just be talking just to be talking. I got proof in what I'm talking about. I don't just come on here popping off and that like I'm just some kind of fool. I got proof that Columbus was talking about Indians just like these ones. In this description, I'm finna show you. Let's look back at it one time. Let's go down here somewhat about right down here, about not quite halfway, maybe 40% down, right here where the sentence says they came to the ship in small canoes. Y'all see that? They came to the ship in small canoes. Y'all see that, right? So that's where we at. That's where we finna start right there. Something I want to point out how he talking about the Juka Indians. When he talking about the Juka, just another tribe of Jacob, just another tribe of Indians basically, but I'm gonna show you how it's all the same. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree like a long boat, and all of one piece, and wonderfully worked considering the country. They are large, some of them holding 40 to 45 men, others smaller, and some only large enough to hold one man, something like a kayak. They are propelled with a paddle like a baker's shovel. and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and to bail it out with calabashes that they take with them. Now see, it's, believe it or not, it's a lot of details right there. You gotta take your time. We don't need to investigate this whole work of writing, this whole piece of literature. We just need to investigate what I just read. How many sentences that is? Hold on. One long sentence, second sentence, third sentence, fourth sentence, 4 sentences. We got 4 sentences that we finna look at, that I'm finna pinpoint some stuff, and I'm finna show you. He talking about Indians just like the Juka Negroes. The Juka are American Indians. They are not Maroons. They are not escaped African slaves. The whole plan was to conquer and enslave the Indians and tell them they're from somewhere else. So of course they were never slaves, Salute. And I'm finna show you Columbus describing their culture. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree like a longboat, and all of one piece and wonderfully worked, considering the country. They are large, some of them holding 40 to 45 men, others smaller, and some only large enough to hold 1 man. They are propelled with a paddle like a baker shovel and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and to bail it out with calabashes that they take with them. All right, so right there, let's start with this. Let me go to my page one time. Because they saying they making canoes and big long boats out of a tree, basically. Like they said, 1 piece of wood. They call it a dugout canoe. When you look it up, they call it a dugout canoe. So I just posted this a little while ago. Of the Juka tribe. Salute to the Juka tribe. And Suriname, Managa, salute. He's making his dugout canoe out of 1 tree trunk. And he's using the calabash tree. The fruit of the calabash tree provides another artistic material for women. At first, it was men who decorated the bowls and covered containers made from them, incising their designs on the fruit's exterior surface with wood carving tools such as compasses and chisels. But then women began experimenting with the interior surface of these same objects, carving designs with small pieces of broken glass. Today, calabash carving is almost exclusively a woman's art. Now right here it says Juka man building a dugout canoe. Now look, if he was an African slave that escaped, why is they doing the very same thing Columbus described? Check it out. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree. Out of the trunk of a tree. They are large, some of them holding 40 to 45 men, others only 1. They are propelled with a paddle, like a baker shovel, and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and bail it out with calabashes that they take with them. They bail it out with calabashes. The calabash tree. They're making bowls. Now, what do they mean? If the canoe capsizes, they bail it out with calabashes. Now, we see they're making calabash bowls. We see the Juka is making they're making dugout canoes, and they're making bowls with the calabash. Now, look, they say they say if the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim. Y'all see that? And to bail it out with calabashes that they take with them. Now we know they're making calabash bowls with the calabash. Now what does bail it out? If the canoe capsizes, they all take swimming and they bail it out with calabashes. What does that mean? Well, see, I'm a seaman. When I saw this, I knew exactly what they meant when they said when the canoe capsizes and they bail it out. Bailing it out means removing the water. Bailing water out is a phrase is a phrasal verb that means to remove water from a boat by scooping it out with a container or your hand. Scooping it out with a calabash bowl. Salute. You know, this is a different kind of research over here. We something like investigators over here. With the scooping it out with a calabash bowl, with a container or your hand, bailing it out. For example, you have to bail out that rowboat and patch those holes in the bottom before you head out. The verb that means scooping water out of a boat, bailing it out. We read for understanding. Over here. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree, like a longboat, and all of one piece and wonderfully worked, considering the country. They are large, some of them holding 40 to 45 men, some only one. They are propelled with a paddle, like a baker's shovel, and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and to bail it out with the calabashes they take with them. The calabashes, they're making calabash bowls. The Juka are making decorated bowls with the calabash, and they're making the dugout tree just like Christopher Columbus described. Salute to the Dunmore family in the house. Salute. But there's more. There's a mountain of evidence. They propel it with a paddle like a baker's shovel. Let's read more about the calabash before we touch on some of this other evidence. The calabash. What these Juka Nagas know about the calabash? I thought these Nagas from Africa.
You big dummy.
Calabash tree. So it looked like that. That's the calabash fruit. Let's read about it. Whatever that say, commonly known as the calabash tree, is a species of flowering plant native to the Americas. It's indigenous to America, just like the Juka, my naga. It's indigenous to America. Did you know the calabash tree was indigenous to America? But look here, it is grown in Africa, in the Southeast Asia, when probably after 1492. Central America, South America, the Indies, my naga, not the West Indies, the Indies, my naga, Las Indias, and extreme southern Florida, my naga, La Florida. It is the national tree of St. Lucia. It is a dicotyledonous plant with simple leaves, which are alternate or in fascicles, clusters, or short shoots. It is naturalized. It's not natural, but it is naturalized in India, the fake India, Hindustan. Salute. The tree shares its common name with that of the vine calabash or bottle gourd. In Cuba, the tree is known to grow in both distributed habitat and areas of poor drainage. It can grow up to 10 meters tall. Uses, look, in the Indies, not the Caribbean, the Indies. They're trying to call you a cannibal now, huh? A calabash is primarily used to make utensils such as cups and bowls, to bail out the boat. They say, you know what? We going out here fishing. We going out here in this boat. We might run into Columbo, old goof ass. Might try to capsize a Naga boat. Bring a couple of them calabash bowls with us so we just capsize, we can scoop the water out. You know, get them wash them collard greens out, because we don't cook collard greens in the toilet or the bathtub. This ain't Hindustan. Cooking their collard greens in the damn calabash bowl. We say, wash out a couple of them calabash bowls and bring them out here. We going fishing with blackjack. And if we capsize out here in this rough sea, we ain't worried we can swim. And we just gonna flip the boat back over. We're gonna scoop the water out with the calabash bowls. This is what they said. I saw it. Costa Rica, yeah, the strong Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, yeah, the stronghold of the Naga, of course, Africa, my ass at the end. Oh, Africa, huh? Yeah, they get it from here. The Calabash, my naga. In the Americas, my naga. In the Indies, my naga. India Superior, the Calabash. Let's make it clear. The place is indigenous to it. Now we connecting these dots. We see they're making bowls. They're probably eating the fruit out and they're taking the hard shell and making a bowl, right? So let's take a look further. History and culture, the Juka, colonial origins. We're gonna skip some of all that. Maroon art, they call them maroons, Indios, Managa Indies. Originally, Calabash decoration was done only on the exterior. Look at that. Now they're trying to say African. The traditional Juka way of life is being replaced with modern blah blah blah. Since the 1970s, Juka art, blah, blah, blah. Traditionally, the main garment of the Juka, it's some more about the Calabash, though. Here we go. This is why I got what I got at on my community post, where they're telling you they're making bowls with the Calabash tree, and they're making the dugout canoes, just like Columbus described. You know, it's not a coinky dink. Africans didn't do this. This is strictly for Managas, strictly in the Indies, Managa. Now look, it's even further, more evidence. It says they are propelled with a paddle like a baker's shovel. Now look, oh, my phone ringing right now. I can't answer right now. I'm tired up. All right, they are propelled with a paddle like a baker's shovel, right? Now peep this out. So we just connected more dots. They got a pop-up celebrate Native American heritage, huh? Now we talking about real Indians right now. We talking about the Juka. Juka artifacts are on permanent display. I bet they is. Wood carving. It's the most prevalent and intricate art form of the Juka. Let's see the paddles. Look, food stirrer with personal message carved onto a blade. Now peep it now. It just said they are propelled with a paddle that's sort of like a baker's shovel. Let's just keep it moving. We just proving that Columbus talking about eye knockers. He ain't talking about no fake ass red man.
Sit your $5 ass down
Stirrers,
before I make
paddles,
change.
and clothes beaters. Food stirrers are used in cooking to stir rice and other foods prepared for ritual occasions. They are relatively flat. The size of the blade and the handle vary according to geographical location and maker. Juka women usually own several stirrers. Most stirrers serve a functional purpose and are actually used by the recipient in cooking, but some are much more delicate and serve purely aesthetic purposes. Women's paddles are smaller than the paddles used by men due to the different stroke technique, which is much shorter and quicker. That sounds kind of funny, right? That's a laundry beater paddle. We already talked about their combs before. You know, the bush pick, Managa. Not the afro pick, the bush pick, Managa. It come from here, Managa. Let's go down some more. But we just saw like they said, we saw the food stirrers and they said, look, he said, they are prepared with a paddle like a baker's shovel. See, I'm just showing you the relation. The paddle, the boat paddle, and the baker's shovel. Now look at the Juka food stirring paddles, and let's see what they boat paddles look like. There's their boat where they paddle at. If they ain't got one on here, I'm gonna just pull one up. They ain't got one on this article. Let's just pull up a Juka boat paddle. I'm just showing y'all the relationship connecting these dots, because we real scientific with it and we investigate for real. We're not playing around with these people. This is not a game. All right, let me go back. Images. Boom, there they go. These is it. The Juka boat paddle. Now look now, Suriname, so-called maroon. This is the Juka tribe. This is a Juka paddle. A Juka boat paddle. So when you look at the Juka boat paddle, and then you look at the food stirrers and all that, the boat paddle do look something like the food stirrer and the laundry beater. It's not much difference. It's a design difference, but the food stirrer. So when Columbus said they are propelled with a paddle like a baker's shovel, a baker, food, cooking, and they dug out canoes made of one piece, and when it's flipped over and capsizes, they bail the water out with calabash. They brought skins of cotton thread.
Boom shakalaka!
Man, we don't miss. We got our third out open, man. Let it soak in. I'm back. I had to get me a drink, y'all. But hey man, the evidence speaks for itself, man. You know, they want to tell you somehow escaped from Africa. But even just picture that. They tell you escaped from Africa. They tell you come from somewhere else. Well, how the hell you escape from Africa when you doing the very same thing Columbus described in his journal in 1492? This is what I'm saying. It's the small details sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta slow down and smell the roses. It's one at a time. You don't gotta have all the answers right away. But start with the ones that you can. You gotta say, hey man, I got questions. If they from Africa, why the hell they doing the same thing that is written before so-called Africans were even allegedly brought here? Columbus describing this shit in 1492. The Juka still doing it today. And we done talked about the Juka tribe before over here, but a lot of people don't know about the Juka. I think we was one of the first YouTubers to expose the Juka and what the Juka all about. But this information that we sharing now, we didn't cover before. It's other things about the Juka that proves that, first off, they're indigenous people, and that proves they are not from Africa. They was never escaped slaves at all. They were just indigenous people that the colonizer was trying to conquer and enslave. Divide and conquer so they can make room for their people. So when we tell the truth about it all, let me go to Google. I'm gonna go to Google because I don't like I got mine set up to Bing, but I don't really like using Bing. So let's pull up the Juka. I like using Google because most people use Google. So like anything we putting up, anybody else can pull it up. They ain't gotta take my word for it. They can say, you know what? Let me go see for myself. They can go type up the same stuff we're looking at, and they can make up their own mind. We'll just lead them to the water, but we can't make them drink. So let's just go. We go like see it's several stuff here about the Juka, but we're gonna go to the basic. We're gonna go to the first one. We're gonna go to Wikipedia, which is known to be a hijack, but at the same time, it has valid information too. And we don't dodge we don't run from hijacks. We know how to dodge them, but we don't run from them. We know how to interpret and read through them. So we're gonna start with this one. We know they're gonna tell us they're Africans. We know the first hijack, they're gonna try to hide the fact that these are indigenous people. They call them Bush Negroes. But we see how they're dressed. We ain't gonna show too much of them because they got some exposure on these. Some of the women exposed. The indigenous. Columbus said they go about naked. Even in the same journal, he says that they went about almost naked as they were born. Where is it? Let's pull it up where he said it. Let's see. Let's see where he said it. He said they of course he said they paint themselves black. He say where is somewhere here where he says they go around naked as when they were born. It's somewhere up in here. It might be at the top. They are all well made, hands are very, the hair is short. They go as naked. Look, they go as naked as where they were born, as where their mothers bore them. So we just connected it out. We just saw some of the Juka when I had to go on the Zoom past because I don't want YouTube to be trying to flag me. The Juka people, also called the Wakans. You know they was Khans. The Juka, spelled Ndyuka, but it's also spelled Djuka. It's Juka. It's pronounced Juka. As far as I know, if I'm wrong, you know who can tell me if I'm wrong? So AMA can tell me if I'm wrong. Salute. But I believe it's pronounced the Juka. I think the N is silent. Or the Wakan. They Khans, Managa. Like the Wakan, Managa people. And they say Okanisi are one of 6 so-called maroon peoples formerly called Bush Negroes, which also has pejorative tinges. In the Republic of Suriname, and one of the maroon peoples in French Guiana. The Wakan or Juka speak the Juka language. So here's the first key clue that they are not Africans. The Juka language is not an African language. Salute.
Boom shakalaka!
See, the evidence speaks for itself a lot, as long as you take your time and you pay attention. If they're slaves from Africa that escaped and then they never learned English, they would still be speaking the African tongue. They wouldn't be speaking the tongue that is foreign to all countries in Africa. They have their own language, the Juka language, and it's indigenous. The Juka language is an indigenous American language. They are subdivided into the Opu, who live upstream of the Tappanahoni River in the Tappanahoni Resort of southeastern Suriname, and the Bilo or the Bilo, who live downstream of that river in Marawine district. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The Marawine district. I like how it sounds. The most important towns are Moengo, the largest town in Marawine district, and Ditabiki. Yeah, that's Ditabiki. That's an important place, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the old name Dritabichi, the old name. I like the old name, Dritabichi, which is the residence of the Grandman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the paramount chief, the head NIC, the head Naga in charge, the Grandman, the granddaddy. Salute. He's the big, he's everybody granddaddy. He the whole tribe granddaddy. He would be like Abraham on the Naga. He the paramount chief of the Juka people since 1950. They further subdivided themselves into 12 matrilineal kinship groups called Lo. There's a 13 group that of the Grandman history, Here it goes. See, this where the hijack coming in. They trying to hide the fact that these indigenous people, these American Indians, the Juka and related people are of African descent. That's a lie. That is a lie. We just proved that was a lie. They're doing everything Columbus said he saw when he got here. Let's look. Now, this how you also know it's a lie. It say those who they say the Juka are related. This is how they gonna call them African slaves that escaped. Watch this. The Juka and related people are of African descent, were enslaved and transported as cargo by the Dutch to Suriname in the 17th to the 18th century. Hold it, stop right there. Which one is it? The 17th or the 18th century? Was it the 16th or the 1700s? The fact that you don't even know what century is, the fact that I know you're lying about them being of African descent. If you can't prove what century it was in, you damn sure can't prove they was African. Salute. You hiding the fact that they gonna read and prove it right now through your lies. It say they were enslaved and transported as cargo by the Dutch to Suriname in the 17th to 18th century to work on Dutch-owned colonial plantations. Those who escaped fled deep into the rainforest where they established maroon communities along rivers and mostly southeastern Suriname. Let's stop right there for a minute. They want you to believe some African slaves who they captured already and got enslaved at the threat of gunfire. They want you to believe they escaped and established their own community. If you went and got them out of Africa, how come the hell you can't get them out from right across town? Salute. If they done escape and all they did was go across town, you couldn't get them from right across town? That sounds goofy to me. You say they were Africans and they escaped and started their own community, right? Well, let's read about it. Those who escaped fled deep into the rainforest where they established maroon communities along rivers in most of southeastern Suriname and parts of neighboring French Guiana, and where their culture adopted elements of Native American culture. See, you see where the lies come in at?
Boom shakalaka!
They know these are indigenous peoples. They know they Indians. They're talking about you adopt the elements of Native American culture. Oh, you people try to cover their tracks so hard, boy. They try to cover their tracks bad. They say, yeah, they Africans, but we know they make dugout canoes and paddles, but you know all that. They just adopted that from the Native Americans.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
They said it is rare. Now see, here's the key to tell you that that they didn't adopt it from no fake red man. They are the Native Americans. The Juka are the indigenous people. Here's the clue to tell you right here. Look, it is rare for Juka people to marry outside the group. See that? So you can't say they intermarried and had elements of Native American culture. It is rare for them to marry outside their group. So they remain genetically Juka, not close to their African ancestors. They remain genetically indigenous. They didn't mix out. Salute the Juka. And I'm finna show you why the Juka ain't mixed out. Because the Juka is part of the 12 tribes. They the brethren, man. 12 tribes of Israel. I've been told y'all. I told y'all in the community post weeks ago. Let's put it back up. Days ago. Let's put it back up. The Most High told us, he gave us the covenant. You know what I'm saying? Our father Jacob, our grandfather Abraham. They told us what we weren't supposed to do. And the Juka, they ain't never get conquered or enslaved. They try to say them Africans and enslave them. They got to be escaped. The Africans tried to enslave them the whole time. They Indians. They didn't get away with the bullshit. The Juka held their ground just like the Seminole. And check this out. I'm finna show you why the Juka ain't mixed out. I'm finna show you why the Juka is genetically the same. Right here, right here. We talked about this 3 weeks ago. After Joshua became leader, the new generation of Israel entered into the new land of Canaan as our Lord promised. God gave them an important commandment. When the Lord your God brings you into the land you are entering to possess, and drive out before you many nations, all illegal aliens, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations large and stronger than you. And when the Most High has delivered them over to you, and you have defeated them, then you must destroy them totally. Make no treaty with them, and show them no mercy. Do not intermarry with them. Do not intermarry with them. Do not give your daughters to their sons, or take their daughters for your sons. This is a commandment from the Most High through the covenant. And the Juka kept the code. I'm not going to salute to the Juka. The Juka kept the code. Juka stayed who they are. See, people don't have to tell me what I already can see for myself. And I already know. Talking about they got elements of Native American. How the hell they ain't never mixed out with nobody? They are the damn Native Americans, you dummy.
You big dummy.
They are the Indians. In 1757, a large slave revolt took place at 6 wood plantations near the Tempati Creek. The runaway slaves joined an existing group of Maroons. The Society of Suriname was concerned. And let's make this clear. Any runaway slaves was American Indians. Salute. Because they found you here and attempted to conquer your land and enslave you. And some of our people did get enslaved. They captured Indians and enslaved them. We done studied all about it. And some Nagas broke free and got back to the tribe. Salute. Some Nagas never got enslaved at all. They resisted. They didn't come to y'all gotta be crazy if you think they came to America, to the Indies, and they enslaved 100% of the people. You gotta be out your mind. It's impossible. You can't come here and enslave all the people. The land is too vast. You got Nagas that resisted. You gotta use your brain. The society, you can't believe these fake movies from Hollywood, these brainwashing movies that they done put in front of you. Lights, camera, action. You believe in it. They were an autonomous people. They wasn't from Africa. From 1761, many Juka gradually moved southwards from the Marowan district in order to protect themselves from the colonizers. See, they said these colonizers coming in here enslaving Indians. We got to protect ourselves. And before we start right there, let me show you something. Let me show you something else about the Juka. I'm going to pull up some of the men because sometimes the women be topless and I don't feel like YouTube flagging me. Juka tribe, men. They're not dressed like Africans. We discussed this before. They're not dressed like Africans whatsoever. We discussed this before. They dress like Mayans and Aztecs. We discussed this before. The Juka is not African at all. Hold on, dang. Let me stroll this up. What in the world? Alright, let me try it now. Let me see. The Juka are not Africans at all. And we can prove it. We already done proved it. We'll do it one more time while we here because we know the information. All you gotta do is pull up Quetzalcoatl. I can prove the Juka ain't African. Already, we know well, Columbus done proved it. Columbus proved it for us. Columbus showed us. But you can prove it even for, hey, Lars Boogie in the house, salute, tribe up. But you can prove it even further just by what they're wearing. All you gotta do, I mean, we done proved it in more than one way. All you gotta do is pull up Quetzalcoatl. And we know Quetzalcoatl was a Naga. That's all you gotta do is pull up Quetzalcoatl. Let's pull up where the personified image of Quetzalcoatl at. They go one, but that's not the real one. Where's the real one? If I click on that, they might pull the real one up. Hold on. Let's pull up the real image of Quetzalcoatl. Alright, watch this here though. Alright, I know how to put it up. See, sometimes you gotta go on and insert the truth, cause That you know because they not gonna do it. Put Quetzalcoatl Black. Dang, where's the famous image? Hold on, wait a minute, let me put it up. Let me take all that. Let me do it like this. See if they put it up. Where's the famous image of them? Like, it's an image similar to these, but hold on. We're gonna get back on subject, but I want to point something out because it's important. It's an image similar to this one. Let me see if I can find it. I done live streams on it. Where's? I don't wonder why they like to hide some of this stuff. It's one that where they got them in a real let me put warrior. Let me see if they pull it up. No, they gonna pull up the fake stuff for real now. I got it on another live stream, but basically he dressed exactly the same. He basically dressed exactly the same as the Juka warrior. See, they start. I see. It's crazy because it was a time you could easily pull up this information very easily, and now they starting to layer so much stuff on the internet. But even with this one, this ain't the one I was trying to pull up, but you can even still see it with this one. He got the loincloth on, but it's another one. It's another one where Quetzalcoatl actually got on the cape, kind of like he got with the long. It's one similar to one of these. Where is it? Let's see if I click on this, we can pull it up. Man, what a famous image of Quetzalcoatl. They want to hide it. It's funny how you can like what's so funny, I done pulled this stuff up so many times. I want to put it up now just to prove a point though. But I could put it up on the live stream. I did. I mean, I got the images. But basically it's similar to this. He holding his shield and he got the loincloth and he got a cape on. Just like how this dude is. And I made a collage with it at one time. I love these brothers right. That brother right there is serious. That brother on the far right, he's serious. That's how he got his game face on, right? Yeah, Lives Boogie, they is scrubbing the net. They starting to scrub the net of a lot of stuff. That's why it's important to make these videos and to study and wait to where you know this stuff, because yeah, they gonna try to hide a lot. So like the Juka, they ain't, but we was talking about how they ain't mixed out. They say they stayed pure. Now they was autonomous people. They say mainly they moved southward to the Maryland in order to protect themselves from the colonizers, and they started to build camps on the Tappahannock River. Dispelling the indigenous Taino. But see, this the thing. They admitting who they really is. The Juka probably is the Tario. They say they dispelled the Tario. They say they replaced them, right? They probably just the same people, and they just tried to say, nah, them African slaves. You see what I'm saying? It's just simple as changing the classification. Slaves who had recently fled from Armenia. So these people be lying. Why is everybody a slave that escaped and somehow picked up Indian customs? You know what I'm saying? How come that's the play not only in North America in the United States, but in South America too? How come it's the same play? You mean to tell me the same thing happening in the islands too? In the so-called Caribbean, the same thing happening? Slaves escaping and getting with the Indians, huh? African slaves, huh? Happening in North America, South America, and the Caribbean. Okay. Okay. I was born at night, goddammit, but I wasn't born last night. Runaway slaves. Any part of the Americas, they gonna tell you runaway slaves joined the Indians. Nah, these Nagas is Indians, man. They ain't never go in there. They ain't never go get nobody from Africa. This the whole mind F. It's a lot about this though. Interior war. Let me see. Governance. Even their governance. When you read about the setup of their governance, it's indigenous to America. It's the same as all the Indian tribes. It ain't no African style governance of their tribe or nothing. Not only just the way even in the way they dress and everything. Like, it's so much evidence, not only about what, like I say, about what Columbus wrote, but with the way they dress. This is not an African style of dress that these brothers got on. This is indigenous to America, and like, I know for a fact, like, just show you real quick. For anybody who don't know, I'm gonna show you. I'm just scrolling out through my catalog. It's in there. The photo that I'm trying to tell you about is in my catalog. I just gotta stroll back to it because I don't feel like searching it online right now. Kind of tired. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get tired and my thinking might not be so clear. I can't even remember where I pulled it up at sometimes. But, you know, let me pull it up, go this way. But like, even like these are other so-called, that's the Juka right there. That's the Juka right there. Look how he dressed like the so-called Maya Aztec. It's the same. Salute. You got how your third eye open, Managa. These are not escaped Africans. These are indigenous people. They're even on the damn murals. They're even on the Aztec and Mayan murals, Managa. It's you. They fooled you and made you think it was somebody else. It's you. Let's pull up the other one though real quick since we here. There's a lot of them where we point out. Look at the fake Native Americans. Look at the whitewash. Look at the real ones. Look at the real indigenous. The real American Indians. Look how they hijacked, stole your style. They stole your stuff. Then they gonna tell you, yeah, that's African culture, but they blended in with the Indians and picked up the Indian culture. That's what they tell you about all of us. About all of us. They dress the same. The artifacts tell you, the murals tell you, they dress the same. See, I'm not blind. I know what I'm looking at. That's the same. I'm not blind. I'm not blind at all. Look at the hijack. Stole your stuff. So-called maroons. So-called maroons. They stole your whole style. Stole your whole style. Now the real Indians, the true history show the real Indians. It show us every time. It show us every single time. Now the real history show it. Third eye wide open. Wide open. A lot of people miss that. I mean, I don't know how much evidence you need. I really don't. I don't know how much evidence you need. All right, where's the one we talking about? Hold on, with the Jukenaga on there. With the Jukenaga, where it's at. We got too many videos over here. We can't even get all that stuff. We got so many. It go one showing. I'm just showing. Like, see, there's so many ways you can show the same thing. Whether it's a mural, whether it's some fancy clock made by the French, or whether it's actually a live knocker, it's the same thing. It dressed as all got on the loincloth, arm bangles. Man, it's too much evidence. It's too much proof. If you got your eyes, if you like me, and you very hey, Fred Johnson in the house, salute. If you very observant, you a very observant person. Like, you can't miss a. There you go, right there. That's the one I'm talking about, right there. That's the Quetzalcoatl I was trying to pull up right there. He dressed. This Naga, the mean looking Naga right here, my boy right here, that's my boy there. the Naga on the right, he dressed just like Quetzalcoatl. That Naga got on the same outfit. He literally got on the same outfit as Quetzalcoatl. Look, bro, look at the design, look at the little stripes. Look at the little stripes now. Look at the loincloth. Yeah, it's in the cartoon fashion, but you gotta see past the cartoon. You gotta see what you're really looking at. Yeah, it's all flat made, but look, it's a cape around him. It got the little stripes, little plaid almost like pattern. It got the loincloths match. That's Quetzalcoatl right there. Man, that ain't no damn African. Man, these people so crazy, man. These people, hey. But nah, what's really crazy though is that most people not gonna take the time out to invest, especially when it comes to us. Like, oh, that's just some N-word shit, man. Get that out of here, you know. But like, when you really take the time and you really look at things, I don't see how you could. Like, it baffles me. Like, this is 2024, and we the only ones on the whole planet Earth that done made the comparison of this dude from the Juka tribe, the Quetzalcoatl. We the only ones that did it, and he ain't the only one. Right here, another dude, another one. All of them dressed like Quetzalcoatl. It's the culture. They're gonna tell you them Africans, yeah, they picked it up. They blended in with the Indians. Indians, these is the Indians. You ain't fooling me. It's just too much evidence. It's too much. Too much evidence. You got golden Nagas on clocks. We the first one pointed this side. A lot of other people have talked about it too by now. Well, we've been on that long time ago. But it's another one where I put them Nagas side by side. Let me see if it's in here. See, when you put them side by side, that be really sport, because people might not catch what you saying. That's a lot of time why I be making my photo collages, because I try to put stuff together, like even like this one. Like I put all them Nagas together for a reason. For people to be able to see, hey, look, man, it's the same thing for real. Now, if you brainwash, yo, just some Africans. If you brainwash, 203 Low Gang in the house, salute. Fred Johnson in the house, salute.
Boom shakalaka!
Where it's at, man? It's one I got them where they right by each other. I mean, y'all get the point. Y'all get the point, but man, I be trying to troll these people. I'm worse than Donald Trump with this trolling. Nah, Trump might be worse than me with the trolling. That motherfucker, that be trolling. I be trolling. Look at that fake. Look at this fake man in the background with the fake peace pipe. He's so fake. He's so fake. See, over here, we be trying to expose it. We trying to point it out for people that might not see it. You know what I'm saying? You might not see it. Like, you might not see the loincloth and the arm bangles on him. You might not see that. People might not see that Naga dancing is just like this Naga on the front. That's why I be doing these photo collages. Some people don't be liking these photo collages for whatever reason, but I do me. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it for a reason. So where's some older ones? There's some older ones. Where that junk at, man? Look at him. These fake Native Americans, they be doing too much, man. They be doing too much. Look at this junk, man. They got this old cartoon fake Native American with this fake shit. I kick that shield out of his hand and that spear. Then I throw my shield and my spear on the ground too. And I say, MF, for let me see what them hands with. So you could tell who the real Indian is just by even just a little. If you got your eyes open, they can't fool you. You could tell who the real Indian is. If your eyes open, you know who the real Indian is. If your eyes open, you can't miss it. You can't miss it if your eyes open. We got a lot of good thumbnail collages in here. We got a lot of damn videos. I don't even know where that damn main photo at. I need to put it back up though. That was an important photo. That started. I think a lot of people started paying attention. Hey, I think a lot of people started to pay more attention to the culture, like what the Indians was wearing in colonial times. Not that bull jive they got on today. Like these two, see, a lot of people ain't even know these two is the same painting for real. It's just a different rendition of the same painting. A lot of people ain't know that. We popped off with that first. Man, where that junk at, man? I can't believe I can't find it. Hey, this one of the best videos right here about Pleasures of the Smoke, about the Indian Managa. This is one of the best videos. A lot of people don't remember that. All these old videos, King Blue. Easy tripping. Yeah, man. We just be trying to point it out. Man. A lot of people miss the forest for the trees. You know, they'll look at something and they'll say, yeah, Africans. You know, everybody brainwashed. People don't think for themselves. They just run with a narrative no matter how ridiculous it is. I mean, if you believe the history that you get taught in school, you might as well believe in the Easter Bunny. If you really believe them people telling you the truth when you went to school, some people live by and die by the mainstream narrative. You know, they wholeheartedly believe what they learned in school. You know, they won't question it. They believe everything. I ain't mad at them. They like living in the lie. But if they come over here and see this content, this type of junk that just make them mad, they be getting mad for real. I ain't never seen so many people that get mad over information just because the information go against what they've been taught. That's the crazy thing. If people receive some information and it don't match up with what they've been taught, they get angry for real. They get angry. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, damn, if you receive some information that don't match up with what you've been taught, you ought to understand you've been lied to. That's all it is. Big dummy. You gotta understand you've been lied to. You don't gotta keep believing in lies because you grew up with lies. See, once you step out the darkness and you see the light of truth, you just keep following the light. You want more enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once you get a taste of enlightenment, it's addictive. And then when you getting on the subject, see, this is the thing about this subject. when you get enlightened on the truth about the Indies, the so-called America, and the truth about the American Indian, when you get enlightened on the truth, you're gonna open up a can of worms.
Boom shakalaka!
You're gonna open up a can of worms so big. The can of worms is humongous. See, that's the thing. That's why I be welcoming Pan-Africans. I know I be talking junk. I be trying to be kind of controversial just to get people's attention a little bit, and I got my reasons. But if they even dare to question this fake narrative, and this fake narrative we all been taught, and it's my thing with Pan-Africans, they claim they so militant, but well, how you gonna believe the colonizer narrative? You claim you so militant, but you running with the Kunta Kinte story. That's not militant. Believing in Shaka Zulu and the Kunta Kinte story ain't nothing militant about that. What's militant is going and finding out the truth for yourself, talking to your ancestors, learning about your own family, starting right there first, and then learning about the whole tribe. You know, you go down this path, I don't care how much of a Pan-African you is, you go down this path going on 900 plus videos, you're gonna open a can of worms that you wasn't expecting. Salute. You're gonna open a can of worms. Well, I welcome you down this can of worms. They're gonna worms busting out the can. Hey man, I'm Black Jack, this House of Cons, man. I just wanted to point something that out. Y'all. He told us, he was describing the Juka. He say, one more time. Where we at? Hold on. Down here, one more time. He down there. He describing the so-called Maroons. They came to the ships in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree like a long boat, in all of one piece and wonderfully worked. Considering the country. He talking about considering the country. They are large, some of them holding 40 to 45 men, some others smaller, and some only large enough to hold one man. They are propelled with a paddle like a baker's shovel and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and to bail it out with the calabash bowls, with the calabashes that they take with them. You know, that's deep for real, you know. These professional historians and history book writers that teach your children, they didn't even catch that. Salute, but we did. Hey, Tribe Up, I'm Black Jack. We out. Peace.